In a vast room floating in the depths of space, leaders from many alien worlds gathered for a special meeting. This was the Galactic Council, a powerful group that made decisions for the universe. Bright lights shone down from above, illuminating the faces of aliens of all shapes and sizes. They were here to discuss a minor planet they all agreed was unimportant: Earth. At the front of the room stood Zelthor, a tall alien with shimmering green skin and many eyes. He was known for his sharp tongue and loud laughter. Today he had one target: humans. "Look at this little blue planet," he said, pointing at a holographic image of Earth projected behind him. "They think they are important? They are nothing but a primitive species." The council members chuckled and nodded. Their laughter echoed in the grand hall, making it clear they shared Zelthor's view. Among them was a small creature with 3 arms and a wide grin named Fribble. He could barely contain his amusement. "Yes, humans can barely build a decent spaceship," he joked. "I bet they still think the Earth is flat." As the laughter continued, Dr. Ilara Reyes sat in the back of the room, feeling a mix of anger and sadness. She was a human scientist who had dedicated her life to studying the universe. Just a few weeks ago, she had been invited to this council to share her discoveries. Now she felt like a joke, a part of a species that everyone laughed at. Ilara had heard tales of how powerful the Galactic Council was, but seeing them mock Earth was hard to bear. She thought about her home with its blue oceans, green forests, and diverse life. "They don't understand us at all," she whispered to herself. The council continued their discussion, and Zelthor's voice boomed again. "Humans are insignificant. They don't have the technology to compete with us. They rely on fossil fuels and still can't figure out how to travel beyond their own moon." The council members laughed even harder at this comment. Feeling a fire ignite within her, Ilara knew she had to speak up. Gathering her courage, she stood and cleared her throat. The room grew silent, and all eyes turned to her. "Excuse me, but I must disagree," she said, her voice steady. "Humans have achieved a lot in a short time. We may not have advanced as far as some of you, but we are not as helpless as you think." The council looked at her in surprise, some even rolling their eyes. Zelthor raised an eyebrow and asked, "And what have you achieved that is so impressive? Your little planet is nothing compared to the wonders of the universe." Ilara took a deep breath. "We have landed on the moon, sent robots to Mars, and discovered thousands of new species. We are explorers at heart. Just because we are still developing doesn't mean we can't become something great." The laughter faded slightly, but the skepticism remained. "You may have made some progress, but that does not mean you can challenge us," another council member, a blue-skinned creature named Zintar, said with a sneer. "Your technology is still behind. We have civilizations millions of years old." Feeling her heart race, Ilara knew she had to change their minds. "What if I told you that we are working on something that could change everything?" she asked, her eyes shining with determination. "A project that could give us unimaginable power?" The council members exchanged glances, their interest piqued. "What are you talking about?" Zelthor asked, his tone now serious. Ilara hesitated for a moment, but saw this as her chance. "We are creating a Dyson sphere. It can capture the energy of the sun to power our entire planet and beyond. It could even be used to protect us if necessary." A murmur spread through the council. For the first time, they looked uncertain. But Zelthor quickly regained his composure. "A Dyson sphere? How amusing! You think you can compete with us?" He chuckled again, but this time his laughter lacked its usual confidence. Ilara smiled, feeling the tides begin to shift. "You may laugh now, but you will see. Humans are not as insignificant as you believe." With that, she sat down, hoping her words would resonate with the council in the days to come. As the meeting continued, the seeds of doubt had been planted. Ilara knew she had a long way to go, but today was just the beginning. The laughter would soon turn into something else, something much more serious. Back on Earth, Dr. Ilara Reyes was not going to sit idle after her experience at the Galactic Council. Instead, she returned to her lab with a new sense of purpose. The laughter of the aliens still echoed in her mind, but it also fueled her determination. She gathered her team, a group of bright young scientists and engineers, to discuss her ambitious idea. "Everyone, we have a chance to show the galaxy that we are not weak," Ilara said, her voice filled with excitement. "We need to build a Dyson sphere. This project could change everything for humanity." The team exchanged glances, unsure of what Ilara was asking. One engineer, Alex, raised his hand. "A Dyson sphere? Isn't that just a theoretical concept?" It's huge and complex. Are we ready for such a big challenge? Elara smiled, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Yes, it's a huge challenge, but it's possible. Imagine a massive structure around the sun that captures its energy. We could power our cities, our ships, and even protect ourselves from alien threats. As she spoke, the room began to fill with energy. The team members leaned in closer, intrigued by the idea. They knew that Earth needed to show its strength, especially after the Council's dismissal. Elara continued, "We may be small now, but we can create something amazing together." With renewed spirit, the team agreed to work on the project. They set up a makeshift laboratory deep in the mountains, far from prying eyes. They named it Project Helios, after the sun. Everyone knew they had to keep it secret from the government and the world until they had something real to show. Days turned into weeks as Elara and her team worked tirelessly. They designed blueprints, calculated energy outputs, and studied materials that could withstand extreme conditions. The lab buzzed with activity as they built smaller models and conducted tests. Each successful test filled them with hope. One evening, while reviewing their calculations, Elara noticed something. "We can't just build a Dyson sphere for energy. We can use it as a defense system, too," she proposed. "If we can channel the sun's energy, we can create powerful beams to protect Earth if needed." Alex nodded, excitement building in the group. "That's brilliant. If we can control that energy, we can deter any attack. We'll show the Galactic Council that humans are not to be underestimated." As the project progressed, Elara found herself spending more time in the lab. The team became her second family, united by a common goal. They shared laughs, frustrations, and breakthroughs. One day, they finally completed their first small-scale model of the Dyson sphere. It was a beautiful sight. A shimmering globe that glowed with energy from special solar panels. "Today we celebrate," Elara announced, her voice echoing through the lab. The team cheered, feeling a sense of accomplishment. But Elara knew this was just the beginning. "We have to keep pushing forward. Our real work starts now." However, as they continued their project, word began to spread in the scientific community about Earth's advancements. Some people grew curious, while others expressed doubt about humanity's capabilities. Rumors of a secret project reached the ears of the Galactic Council, igniting discussions among the aliens about what Earth was up to. Meanwhile, Elara remained focused. She knew they had to move quickly and quietly. They worked day and night, improving their design and testing energy outputs. The team grew closer, sharing dreams of what humanity could achieve. They talked about how they would present their work to the Galactic Council and finally earn the respect they deserved. One night, as they gathered around a table filled with sketches and calculations, Elara felt a surge of hope. "Imagine the look on their faces when we unveil our Dyson sphere. They won't be laughing anymore. We will show them that humans are powerful and innovative." The team erupted in cheers, fueled by their passion and determination. They knew they were on the brink of something incredible. Elara looked at her team, their faces lit by the glow of their project. She felt proud to be leading them on this journey. Together, they were ready to prove that Earth was not insignificant. They would show the galaxy that humans could dream big and achieve greatness. The journey ahead would be tough, but Elara and her team were prepared to face any challenge. They were not just building a Dyson sphere, they were building the future of humanity. The day of the big reveal had finally arrived. Elara Reyes and her team stood in front of their completed Dyson sphere model, a magnificent structure that glimmered with energy and hope. The lab was filled with excitement and nervousness. They had worked hard for this moment, and now it was time to show the galaxy what humans were capable of. Elara checked her watch. The Galactic Council had agreed to a special meeting to see their project. She could feel her heart racing. Would the aliens take them seriously this time? Would they see the potential of the Dyson sphere, or would they continue to laugh? The team gathered around the model, making last-minute adjustments. The large structure stood at the center of the room, its solar panels shimmering under the lights. It was not just a model, it represented everything they had fought for and believed in. As the time for the meeting approached, Elara felt a wave of determination wash over her. "Remember," she said to her team, "this is our chance to show them that humans are more than they think. We are innovative, strong, and capable of greatness." The team nodded, their faces filled with hope and determination. They had put their hearts into this project, and now it was time to share it with the world. The council meeting began. and Alara felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety as she entered the vast chamber filled with alien leaders. She looked around, seeing the familiar faces of the Galactic Council. Zelthor, the tall green alien, was there, along with Zintar and Fribble. They all seemed curious, and for the first time, there was a hint of doubt in their eyes. "Welcome, Dr. Reyes," Zelthor said, his voice booming through the chamber. "We are eager to see what you have brought us today. But remember, we do not expect much from your tiny planet." Alara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their skepticism on her shoulders. "Thank you, Zelthor. I believe you will be impressed." She motioned to her team, who activated the presentation. The lights dimmed, and the Dyson sphere model began to glow softly. As the presentation started, Alara explained the concept of the Dyson sphere and how it could capture solar energy. She demonstrated the model's capabilities, showcasing how it could power cities and support entire civilizations. The council members listened, their eyes fixed on the glowing model as Alara spoke with passion. "This Dyson sphere can provide unlimited energy," she said, her voice growing stronger. "Imagine a world where energy is free and accessible to everyone. We can also use this technology to protect Earth from potential threats, ensuring our safety and security." As she spoke, the aliens began to lean in, intrigued by her words. Alara noticed the change in their expressions. The laughter had faded, replaced by genuine interest. The model spun slowly, displaying its intricate design and the power it could harness from the sun. "This project is not just about energy," Alara continued. "It's about collaboration and innovation. We want to share this technology with the galaxy. Together we can create a future where all worlds can thrive." The council members exchanged glances, their skepticism slowly melting away. Zintar spoke up, his voice curious. "You truly believe you can achieve this? You have only just begun your journey." Alara nodded. "Yes, we have much work ahead, but we are committed to this project. We want to show the universe that Earth is not insignificant. We are capable of greatness." Zelthor's expression changed as he leaned forward, finally intrigued. "You have my attention, Dr. Reyes. This is a bold claim, but how do we know you can follow through?" With confidence, Alara replied, "We have already begun the next phase of our project. We are gathering resources, building partnerships, and seeking the support of our governments. This is just the beginning." As Alara concluded her presentation, the council chamber erupted in applause. For the first time, the aliens seemed genuinely impressed. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and curiosity. Alara felt a rush of relief and joy. They had succeeded in capturing the council's attention. "Very well," Zelthor said, standing tall. "We will consider your proposal seriously. Perhaps Earth is more important than we first believed." "You have opened our eyes, Dr. Reyes." Alara's heart soared as she heard those words. She had done it. The laughter had turned into respect, and now there was a possibility for collaboration. The council members smiled at her, no longer seeing her as just a human from a tiny planet, but as a pioneer leading humanity into a new era. With hope in her heart, Alara realized this was only the beginning of their journey. Together, they would build a brighter future, and the galaxy would soon see the true power of humanity. The excitement from the big reveal echoed throughout the Galactic Council, but not everyone was pleased with Earth's newfound attention. As Alara Reyes and her team celebrated their success, darker forces stirred among the alien factions. Some council members whispered behind closed doors, feeling threatened by the idea of humanity rising to power. Back on Earth, Alara and her team were busy preparing for the next phase of Project Helios. They received messages of support from various governments, eager to invest in their groundbreaking work. However, Alara sensed that things were changing. News reports began to surface about growing tensions in the Council, with some alien species openly opposing Earth's project. The team gathered around the model, making last-minute adjustments. The large structure stood at the center of the room, its solar panels shimmering under the lights. It was not just a model, it represented everything they had fought for and believed in. As the time for the meeting approached, Alara felt a wave of determination wash over her. "Remember," she said to her team, "this is our chance to show them that humans are more than they think. We are innovative, strong, and capable of greatness." The team nodded, their faces filled with hope and determination. They had put their hearts into this project, and now it was time to share it with the world. The council meeting began, and Alara felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety as she entered the vast chamber filled with alien leaders. She looked around, seeing the familiar faces of the Galactic Council. Zelthor, the tall green alien, was there, along with Zintar and Fribble. They all seemed curious, and for the first time there was a hint of doubt in their eyes. "Welcome, Dr. Reyes," Zelthor said, his voice booming through the chamber. "We are eager to see what you have brought us today, but remember we do not expect much from your tiny planet." Alara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their skepticism on her shoulders. "Thank you, Zelthor. I believe you will be impressed." She motioned to her team, who activated the presentation. The lights dimmed, and the Dyson sphere model began to glow softly. As the presentation started, Alara explained the concept of the Dyson sphere and how it could capture solar energy. She demonstrated the model's capabilities, showcasing how it could power cities and support entire civilizations. The council members listened, their eyes fixed on the glowing model as Alara spoke with passion. "This Dyson sphere can provide unlimited energy," she said, her voice growing stronger. "Imagine a world where energy is free and accessible to everyone. We can also use this technology to protect Earth from potential threats, ensuring our safety and security." As she spoke, the aliens began to lean in, intrigued by her words. Alara noticed the change in their expressions. The laughter had faded, replaced by genuine interest. The model spun slowly, displaying its intricate design and the power it could harness from the sun. "This project is not just about energy," Alara continued. "It's about collaboration and innovation. We want to share this technology with the galaxy. Together, we can create a future where all worlds can thrive." The council members exchanged glances, their skepticism slowly melting away. Zintar spoke up, his voice curious. "You truly believe you can achieve this? You have only just begun your journey." Alara nodded. "Yes, we have much work ahead, but we are committed to this project. We want to show the universe that Earth is not insignificant. We are capable of greatness." Zelthor's expression changed as he leaned forward, finally intrigued. "You have my attention, Dr. Reyes. This is a bold claim, but how do we know you can follow through?" With confidence, Alara replied, "We have already begun the next phase of our project. We are gathering resources, building partnerships, and seeking the support of our governments. This is just the beginning." As Alara concluded her presentation, the council chamber erupted in applause. For the first time, the aliens seemed genuinely impressed. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and curiosity. Alara felt a rush of relief and joy. They had succeeded in capturing the council's attention. "Very well," Zelthor said, standing tall. "We will consider your proposal seriously. Perhaps Earth is more important than we first believed. You have opened our eyes, Dr. Reyes." Alara's heart soared as she heard those words. She had done it. The laughter had turned into respect, and now there was a possibility for collaboration. The council members smiled at her, no longer seeing her as just a human from a tiny planet, but as a pioneer leading humanity into a new era. With hope in her heart, Alara realized this was only the beginning of their journey. Together, they would build a brighter future, and the galaxy would soon see the true power of humanity. The excitement from the big reveal echoed throughout the Galactic Council, but not everyone was pleased with Earth's newfound attention. As Alara Reyes and her team celebrated their success, darker forces stirred among the alien factions. Some council members whispered behind closed doors, feeling threatened by the idea of humanity rising to power. Back on Earth, Alara and her team were busy preparing for the next phase of Project Helios. They received messages of support from various governments, eager to invest in their groundbreaking work. However, Alara sensed that things were changing. News reports began to surface about growing tensions in the Council, with some alien species openly opposing Earth's project. One evening, while reviewing progress in the lab, Alara gathered her team to discuss recent developments. "I've been reading reports about the Council," she said, her brow furrowed with concern. "Not everyone is happy about our project. Some see it as a threat." Alex, one of the engineers, looked worried. "What do you mean? Are they afraid of us?" "We're just trying to help." Alara nodded, understanding his frustration. "I know. But remember, some species in the Council have their own agendas. They might see us as competition. We need to be cautious." As the team worked on, the atmosphere in the lab grew tense. The enthusiasm they once had was overshadowed by a feeling of uncertainty. Ilara pushed them to stay focused, reminding them of their mission. They needed to continue their research and make the Dyson sphere a reality. Meanwhile, in the council chamber, whispers grew louder. Zelthor and Zintar met with a group of influential leaders from other alien species. "We cannot allow humans to gain too much power," Zintar insisted, his voice low and serious. "Their Dyson sphere could change the balance of power in the galaxy." Zelthor nodded. "Yes, we need to take action before they become too strong. If they succeed, they could challenge our authority." As the tension rose, Ilara and her team were completely unaware of the brewing storm. They continued their work, building prototypes and conducting experiments. They were determined to prove their worth to the Council and the universe. One day, a new message arrived from the Galactic Council, requesting a follow-up meeting. Ilara's heart raced with excitement. This could be another opportunity to strengthen their position. However, the message carried an ominous tone. The Council wanted to discuss the implications of the Dyson Sphere project. When the day of the meeting arrived, Ilara entered the council chamber with her team, feeling a mix of hope and apprehension. The atmosphere was charged with tension. The council members were gathered, their expressions serious and their body language tense. "Dr. Reyes, we appreciate your efforts," Zelthor began, his voice grave. "However, we have concerns about the potential risks associated with your Dyson sphere." Ilara felt a knot in her stomach. "What risks?" she asked, trying to remain calm. "We believe this project will benefit not just Earth, but the entire galaxy." Zintar interjected, "Your technology could disrupt the energy balance in the galaxy. It could make you a target for those who wish to control such power." Ilara fought to keep her composure. "We do not intend to use the Dyson sphere as a weapon. Our goal is to create a sustainable energy source for all. We want to cooperate with the Council, not threaten it." But the Council was not convinced. They exchanged worried glances, and murmurs filled the chamber. Ilara's team shifted nervously, sensing the growing unease among the council members. Zelthor raised his hand, silencing the room. "We must put safeguards in place. We will not allow your project to proceed without proper oversight. You will be required to share all your findings with us." Ilara's heart sank. "That seems unfair. We have worked hard for this, and we want to be partners, not just subjects of your control." Zintar leaned forward, his expression hardening. "You have little choice, Dr. Reyes. The Council will not permit unchecked power, especially from a species we do not fully understand." As the meeting ended, Ilara felt a wave of frustration wash over her. She had come to share a vision of cooperation, but the Council's fears loomed large. The dream of a united galaxy was fading, and the darkness of mistrust threatened to overshadow their efforts. Back in the lab, Ilara and her team gathered to discuss the meeting. "We can't let them control us," Alex said, his voice shaking with anger. "We have to find a way to protect our work." Ilara nodded, determination igniting within her. "We need to keep moving forward no matter the risks. We have a chance to change the galaxy and we won't back down. Together we will show them the true power of humanity." Little did they know, the Council's fears would only grow, and the path ahead would be fraught with challenges. The balance of power was shifting, and tensions were rising as both sides prepared for what lay ahead. The excitement surrounding the Dyson Sphere project was palpable on Earth. Ilara Reyes and her team celebrated their success, but the joy was not shared by all. In the shadows of the Galactic Council, some alien leaders whispered among themselves, plotting against the very humans they had dismissed. As the news of Earth's breakthrough spread, many alien species grew uneasy. They had laughed at humanity's insignificance only a few weeks ago, but now they could see the potential threat posed by a species capable of creating a Dyson sphere. The Council's halls, once filled with laughter, were now charged with tension. Back on Earth, Ilara gathered her team in the lab. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement, but she could feel a shadow lurking over their triumph. "We need to stay focused," she said, glancing around at her colleagues. "Our work is more important now than ever." Alex, a young engineer, raised his hand nervously. "What if they decide to stop us? What if they don't want us to succeed?" His voice trembled, reflecting the anxiety that had begun to creep into the team. Ilara placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "We can't think like that. We have to believe in our project and its benefits. This is about more than just us. It's about the future of energy for everyone." Despite her words, Ilara couldn't shake the feeling that danger was approaching. As they returned to their work, the media buzzed with mixed reports about the Dyson sphere. Some articles praised the project, while others warned of its risks. The alien leaders were growing restless, and that made Alara uneasy. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council convened to discuss their next steps. Zelthor, the towering green alien, stood at the center addressing the group. "We cannot allow humans to gain too much power. Their Dyson sphere could upset the balance of the galaxy. We must act now to ensure they don't become a threat." Zintar, a small but cunning alien, nodded in agreement. "They are still an unpredictable species. We should not let them have unchecked access to such technology. They could become a rival, and we cannot allow that." The council members murmured among themselves, weighing the risks and benefits of humanity's advancement. Some were open to cooperation, but others were determined to protect their interests at all costs. Back in Alara's lab, her team was working late into the night. They were driven by their passion, but also by an underlying fear. Alara noticed Alex staring out the window, his brow furrowed in worry. "What's on your mind?" she asked, trying to lighten the mood. He sighed deeply. "I just can't shake the feeling that we're being watched. What if they send spies? What if they sabotage us?" Alara frowned, understanding his fears. "We have to stay alert, but we can't let fear control us. We're working for a greater cause." But despite her confidence, the tension was building. Reports came in about strange activity near Earth's orbit. Unidentified ships were spotted watching from a distance. Alara tried to remain focused on their work, but she couldn't ignore the growing sense of unease. A few days later, the council sent another message, requesting an urgent meeting with Alara and her team. As they prepared for the meeting, the atmosphere in the lab grew heavy. They all sensed that the council's tone had shifted, and the stakes were getting higher. When they arrived at the council chamber, the mood was tense. Zelthor and Zintar sat at the head of the table, their expressions serious. "Dr. Reyes," Zelthor began, "we are concerned about your project. We believe it poses significant risks to the balance of power in the galaxy." Alara's heart raced. "We only want to help. The Dyson sphere can provide energy for everyone, not just Earth. We wish to cooperate, not compete." Zintar leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "Cooperation requires trust, and you have not earned that trust. We cannot allow you to continue without oversight. We will be monitoring your progress closely." Alara felt a surge of frustration. "We can't let fear dictate our project." "We are not your enemies," Zelthor's voice was firm. "We understand your passion, but you must understand our position. If we allow you to proceed unchecked, it could lead to war." As the meeting concluded, Alara felt defeated. They had come to share a vision of a united future, but instead, they had sparked fear and suspicion. The weight of the council's mistrust hung heavily on her shoulders. Back in the lab, Alara gathered her team. "We must stay strong. They may fear us, but we can't let that stop our progress. We need to find a way to prove we can be trusted." The team nodded, their determination rekindled. They would not give up. They would show the galaxy that humanity was not a threat, but an ally. Little did they know, rising tensions would soon test their resolve in ways they could never have imagined. As the tensions escalated, Alara Reyes and her team at Project Helios felt the pressure mounting. The Galactic Council had placed strict oversight on their Dyson Sphere project, and whispers of potential sabotage echoed through the scientific community. Alara knew they had to act quickly to prove humanity's worth and secure their future in the galaxy. One evening, while working late in the lab, Alara gathered her team for an emergency meeting. The room was dimly lit, filled with the hum of machinery and the faint glow of computer screens. "We can't let the Council's fear stop us," Alara said, her voice steady. "We need to show them we can defend our project. We have to prepare for any threat that may come our way." Alex, one of the lead engineers, frowned. "But how can we defend something that is meant to help everyone? We shouldn't have to fight for our right to exist." Alara nodded, understanding his frustration. "I know, but we must be ready for anything. We can't afford to be caught off guard. We need to create a defense system for the Dyson sphere just in case." The team brainstormed ideas late into the night, fueled by coffee and determination. They decided to design a series of automated drones that could protect the Dyson sphere. These drones would have the capability to monitor the area and respond to any threats. It was a big task, but everyone was on board. Over the following weeks, the team worked tirelessly, designing and building the drones. They programmed the drones to detect any approaching ships and respond accordingly. Alara felt a renewed sense of purpose as they poured their energy into creating these protectors. Meanwhile, the Council continued to watch Earth closely, their distrust growing. Zintar and Zelthor had been sharing reports about the progress of the Dyson Sphere project, warning other Council members about the potential danger humans posed. The Council's paranoia deepened, and plans to intervene became more urgent. As the day of the drone testing approached, Alara gathered her team for one last pep talk. "This is our chance to show the Council that we are serious," she said, her eyes shining with determination. "We are not just scientists, we are protectors of our future. Let's make this work." The team nodded, excitement and anxiety swirling in the air. They set up the testing area outside their lab where they could simulate an attack scenario. The drones were sleek, equipped with sensors and defensive capabilities. They were ready to demonstrate their effectiveness. On the day of the test, the team gathered, hearts pounding with anticipation. They launched the first drone, and it soared into the sky, its sensors scanning for any signs of danger. Alara watched with bated breath as the drone performed its tasks flawlessly, responding to mock threats and showcasing its agility. Suddenly, alarms blared in the control room. "We have an unidentified ship approaching," one of the technicians shouted. Panic rippled through the team, but Alara quickly took charge. "Stay calm! Let's see what they're doing." The ship hovered at a distance, and Alara activated the drones. They quickly deployed into the air, ready to protect their territory. The team watched closely as the drones engaged in a defensive formation, their sensors focused on the approaching vessel. Alara felt a mix of fear and excitement. "We need to communicate with them!" This could be a misunderstanding. As the drones positioned themselves, Alara sent a message to the ship. "This is Project Helios. We mean no harm. Please identify yourself." To their surprise, a voice crackled through the intercom. "This is Captain Raun of the Zenthari fleet. We received reports of potential threats in this sector. We're here to investigate." Alara sighed with relief. "Captain Raun, we are conducting a test of our new defensive drones. We assure you we are not a threat to anyone." The Zenthari ship hovered closer, and the crew could see the curiosity on Captain Raun's face. "You're humans, correct? We did not expect such advanced technology from your species." Alara took a deep breath. "Yes, we are humans, and we are committed to creating a better future for all species in the galaxy. We want to prove that we can be allies, not enemies." Captain Raun seemed thoughtful. "Your defensive measures are impressive. Perhaps we should arrange a meeting with the Council to discuss your intentions further." Alara felt a surge of hope. "That would be great. We need the Council to see our true potential." As the Zenthari ship departed, Alara and her team exchanged glances of excitement and relief. They had successfully defended their project and shown the galaxy that humanity was ready to stand tall. With the Council's fears still looming, they knew there was more work to do, but they felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, they would prove to the galaxy that humans were not just insignificant beings, but vital allies in the pursuit of peace and progress. The road ahead would be challenging, but with determination and courage, Alara and her team were ready to face whatever came next.